Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray, brought to you proudly by Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Barton Power Sports, Sportsman's Warehouse, and Best Care Home Services.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray as we close out today's show. And being the fourth Saturday, Ron Wall is in the building. It's what we call BW, Bonus Wall. And
good morning, everybody.
Ron is here on the second and fourth, and Ron is Bill Cooksey has stepped out of the office and gone back to his duties as the trap shooting coach out at one of the coaches at Bartlett High School, and they got a practice this morning. But there's a big event going on up at Brownsville coming up next weekend. Well, it's June the 3rd at the West Tennessee Delta Heritage Center. It's also other places, but it is the 6th annual Hatchie Birdfest, and I really it's one of my favorite things to talk about because I think it's when you think about the West Tennessee Delta Heritage Center, a lot of folks don't know where it is, but it's actually really simple. When you get off to go to the Dairy Queen on exit 56, you just look right behind McDonald's. Yeah, and there it is. Right, Fred Silverstein? Is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, Silverstein. Yeah, isn't that an easy way to tell where it is?
That'll get it. Exit 56, and when you get off, you just look. There's a big sign that says West Tennessee Delta Heritage.
It does. It's by McDonald's. If you get to the Dairy Queen, you've gone too far. Like it's what I do. I do.
McDonald's.
Yeah, what I do a lot of times. But Fred is filling in for Sonia Outlaw Clark, who was filling in for Sandra, Fred's wife, and now Fred is filling in for Sandra, who has some throat problems. And I told Fred that don't worry, we just want to get people here in Memphis and all the folks in West Tennessee that listen to Outdoors with Larry Ray in Jackson and Brownsville about this event. So tell our listeners it's a 3-day event, starts on Friday, June the 1st, goes through Sunday, June the 3rd. So you say you got plenty of information there. Tell our listeners what happens during the 6th annual Hatchie Birdfest.
Well, Larry, it's a jam-packed weekend, and I hope we can get it all in the time frame. But let me just say this before we start.
Yeah.
If you're not a birder, come anyway.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Being on a trip with birders, particularly out in the Hatchie River, is a wonderful outing. Mm-hmm. Birders are wonderful people. They're all glad to share what they know and let you know what you're hearing or what you're looking at. So it's just and not only that, but you're in a beautiful part of West Tennessee and the South out in the Hatchie River.
You are that, and it kicks right off. I was noticing on here, Fred, that kicks off on that Friday, next Friday, 9 a.m. We got a canoeing event out. We can't go through everything on O'Neill Lake, which is one of the most beautiful.
That's O'Neill canoe event with Tara Dowdy, who's a refuge ranger.
Right.
If you want to go, pre-register at HatchieBirdfest.com. That's HatchieBirdfest.com, and children are welcome. It's for all ages.
Yeah. And
what are some of the things that people can observe by going to the Hatchie Bird Fest? You know, I think when I hear Bird Fest, what are some of the things that I could go see as somebody interested in the outdoors and looking at birds? What kind of birds are we talking about?
They're just. I'm not a birder, so I really can't tell you how many birds migrate through the West Tennessee area on their way back to their, to wherever they're going up north. But there's a tremendous number of birds that are in migration now. Songbirds out to how many? 200 different species.
I hear her back there.
Wow.
Yeah, I hear.
Does that also include like eagles and hawks?
There are eagles that can be spotted out. As a matter of fact, if you're out on O'Neill Lake, you very well might see a pair of the eagles out there.
And one of the things here, I don't want to interrupt you, but when you speak eagles, if you could get David, hey folks, it's worth the trip to see David Hager's Birds of Prey program that you guys are going to have on noon on Saturday because David's from up at Reelfoot, and he can mesmerize you with that thing. He'll have, I'm sure, some of those eagles in rehab with him. That's worth the trip next Saturday.
He will have. He will probably have 3 or 4 different birds to play with him.
Yes.
That's 12 p.m. and that is at the Delta Heritage Center.
That's at the Heritage Center, and also you got some of my other friends here. I say that you got Bob Ford in there. He is a wildlife biologist and Partners in Flight coordinator. He's going to do a seminar Sunday afternoon, or you take a float trip on down the Hatchie River. I mean, there's so many things on this, and you also have entertainment. I noticed.
We have entertainment on Friday night. The Dirt Pilgrims. There's the opening reception at Temple Addis Israel at 135 North Washington in Brownsville.
Did y'all hear what this group's name is? I had to get Fred to say that.
The Dirt Pilgrims.
It's the Dirt Pilgrims.
The Dirt Pilgrims.
They're a quirky acoustic folk band from Jackson. I don't know what quirky meant, but when I see
that's got to be good.
When I can think of the nitty gritty dirt band, these guys must be kin to them or something like that.
They're very much kin to the nitty gritty dirt band.
And you're going to throw in Randy Hedgepeth in there too?
Randy Hedgepeth, the state naturalist, will be talking about the various things to do in Tennessee, and particularly in West Tennessee and across the state.
And you'll have how many
natural areas?
Yeah. So, what's it cost to come to this?
Well, there's only one particular event out of the 10 or 12 events that have a cost. Most everything is free.
It's free. Did you hear that, Ryan?
I love it. My favorite word.
Most of the things require pre-registering. And let me just tell you, talk about the birding trips on Saturday. Those morning hikes, which are really a lot of fun. They begin at 7 a.m.
Yeah.
And there are 2 hikes. There's actually 3 hikes. One at 7 to 10. One at 7 to 11. They all start at the Delta Heritage Center, and then one at 8:30 to 10. It's not as long a walk.
Yeah.
But that'll be down. It will be around areas on O'Neill Lake and also down into the Hatchie.
Wow, know exactly where that's at.
Yeah, and all these things now. You can go to Hatchie Birdfest. That's HatchieBirdfest.com.
HatchieBirdfest.com.
And to pre-register, they want to have all those done so they'll know about how many people are coming or whatever it might be to do this. And 6 years, this thing is Fred. You can ask your wife there to whisper to you, not, but this thing is growing, isn't it?
It is growing. There are a number of events on this 6th year that we haven't had in the past. This is for all ages.
Yeah.
Children will just love the events that are taking place on Saturday at the Delta Heritage Center.
And if you haven't been to the Delta Heritage Center, it's been around. I don't know how long has it been around.
It may be 15 years.
That's what I was thinking. Over a 10-year period and everything.
Yeah.
And the sign is right there. I know I drove by it many times before I said, I got to go in and see what this thing is. And if you had to describe the Delta Heritage Center for the non-person that says, well, what is there? Tell our listeners what it is.
It showcases all the aspects of Brownsville that makes Brownsville what it is. I mean, the music of Brownsville and Haywood County in West Tennessee.
Yeah.
From Sleepy John Estes through the folks that played with him as blues legends on to on up to the Queen of Rock and Roll.
It's done that. Of course, I'm familiar with it from my good friend Carlton Veers. Being the editor of the Mid-South Hunting and Fishing magazine, I know how important this event is. I don't know how many people you expect to have, but if it continues to grow, this thing is getting bigger every year. This is really one of the major events that you guys put on up there, right?
It is, and it follows up by a week. And I'd say this too, just to plug the Exit 56 Blues Fest.
Yeah, I wanted you to.
Coming up this weekend.
Yes.
Also at the Delta Heritage Center.
Yes, yeah. Now, is the Blues Fest this weekend?
It is.
It's today.
Weekend.
It's Saturday. Is it Sunday too? Is it Saturday?
It starts Saturday, and there are some Sunday.
Well, I wanted to throw that in there because a lot of my listeners, are into this. This is really you guys' heritage is
wow.
It's
amazing.
So what's going on there today? I mean, the Blues Fest. I mean,
I'm not sure what's going on. I don't have that. There's if you go to Exit 56 Blues Fest.
That's it. Exit56blues.com, right? Is that right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You go to that and see. It's all day. I mean, there's something going on all day at the Heritage Center. So you got 2 weekends in a row on this. Hey, Fred, thank you. Tell Sandra we hope she gets her voice back.
I hope so. She'll have it back by the Verve Fest.
Yeah, well, undoubtedly she's not performing today at the Blues Festival. Okay, so right, so
right,
we'll know that. All right, thank you, Fred.
Well, good to be with you.
Thank you, buddy.
To you there.
All right,
Bye.
thank you. All right, Fred Silverstein or Stein filling in for the third fill-in for the other fill-in, but big event.
It all worked out.
I wanted to hear about the Blues Fest, the Exit 56 Blues Fest, and most people driving to Nashville, I always stop at Exit 56. I don't know. And I do frequent the Dairy Queen quite often right there.
Just
ease
on down the road into Brownsville.
And see the wonderful downtown.
Number one hamburger.
Yes, it is.
In Tennessee.
Yes, it's good.
That's rated number one hamburger in Tennessee.
You're going to tell them what the name of it is?
I forgot. Sugar Shack?
No, that's it.
Burger Shack.
Burger Shack. I think that's the name of it. Okay.
Good stuff.
I love burgers. I'm going to have to go there.
Yeah.
Oh, you'll love it.
Thank you, buddy, for being with us.
Always a joy. Yeah. Remember to be safe on the water. Wear your life jackets.
Wear those life jackets. Next week we'll be right back. Gene Smith will be in with us. It'll be first Saturday. Dave Gabbert will be with us by phone from Las Vegas. Got a lot of good shows set up for June as we roll into June, and I can't wait to talk to Steve McAdams next week. Couldn't get him this week. So this is Larry Ray reminding you I do each and every week what? That it doesn't cost an extra cent to be a good sport, and what?
God bless the USA.